This is air cannons for dummies, like most of us. I'm going to pan out and just show you all the parts that are required to build one of these things. It's pretty simple. It was hard to get all the info. I mean, I had to go to a bunch of different websites, but I finally figured it out. We're going to start off with with an air fitting. It's a 1/4 inch. You can buy that at Home Depot. Next thing you're going to need is a check valve. When you install these things, I don't know if y'all can see that arrow. All the arrows got to flow the same way. There's 3 things on here that have arrows, so they all got to point towards the outlets. This is a 1/4 inch check valve, and you can get that at Granger for like $7. Okay. Next we go to the regulator. Also has an arrow, and you can pick this thing up at Home Depot or Harbor Freight. Next thing you'll need is a 1/4 inch nipple. You know, it can be a little longer, a little shorter. You know, however you want to, whatever you want to use, whatever size you want to use will be just fine. After that, we have a 1/2 inch bushing to a 1/4 inch reducing hole. That nipple is going to go right in there. After that, we have a 1/2 inch T, and we have a 1/2 inch nipple. It's like 3 or 4 inches long, all depending on what you need for your tank. This is the side that goes into the tank. After that, we have a 1/2 inch union nipple, whatever size you want. After that, the most important thing is the air solenoid. See the arrow? It's got to go out. And then we come to the end, which is the outlet tube. And you can make it as short and as long as you want. This thing's like 12 inches. My air solenoid is a 24 volt. You can use 110, you can use 12 volt. In my case, I needed a 24 volt power supply. I've already snipped the end off of it. That's what it came with, so I've already snipped that off. And this is the wire I'm going to use for the trigger. I don't have another push button thing to make it go off, so I'm just showing you what I have set up for my other one already. Yeah, this is one that I've already built. Don't mind my friends. Okay. And I'm going to start putting this thing together for you guys. Show you how quick and easy it is. Okay, we're going to start putting this thing together from the air inlet in, and we're just going to work our way down. Remember to use Teflon tape. Got to use Teflon tape, if not your stuff is going to leak. There's our nipple with our arrow facing that way. Go screwed into our regulator, and we got to make sure our arrow is facing the direction of the airflow, and it is. We'll go with our 1/4 inch nipple. That'll go into the bushing. That'll go into our T. That'll go into our 1/2 inch nipple, which will go into our solenoid. Then we'll put our exhaust, which is also a 1/2 inch pipe. Screw on the final piece of the puzzle. That's what goes onto our tank. Okay, as you can see, we've already built our whole assembly, and this thing just basically just goes screwed onto the tank. I mean, this is a 10-gallon tank. I have one with a 5-gallon. I've also made one with a 7-gallon. And there's your air cannon, and the next step now, I'm going to show you guys how to wire it up so you guys can hook it up to like a hand trigger or something like that. Okay? We have our 24 volt power supply, and we have the wiring that we need. And just have some wing nuts. I mean, when you have some time, you can do a pretty decent job like this with some shrink wrap, some shrink tubing and stuff, and really get it coming out really nice. Okay. For now, I'm just going to show you with some wire nuts. It's just, you know, just basic wiring. You're going to have, if you use a 24 volt supply, you're going to have 3 wires. One of them is the ground. You're not going to use that one. You're just going to use the white and the red. Okay, you basically get one of the reds. Okay, hook it up to one of these reds. Put a wire nut on that one. Okay. You get your trigger wire, which is just something that needs to have 2 wires. Okay, you can actually follow this thing right here. You hook up your red to the white of your 24 volt supply. Just put a little nut on that. Okay, and you get your black and hook it up to the other red. Okay, like I said, the wire nuts are just temporary, just to show you guys. Okay, and you're basically done. You hook this thing up to the wall for power, and this is your trigger. If I would hook it up to power right now, all I have to do is just touch these wires that go off. You can get one of these little on-off switches, just a push-button switch, for just a few bucks at any electronics store, either online or maybe like Radio Shack or something like that. But it just has to be an instant deal. Okay, and that looks like it's it. Air cannons for dummy. Okay, enjoy your Halloween.